So we are so happy that we are able to resume our Adhyayana, Adhyapana of Aruna Prashna, which is of Taittiriya Aranyaka. And the Taittiriya Aranyaka, as we see, there are 6 sections or 6 prashnas. The very opening prashna is Aruna Prashna, where Surya Bhagavan is looked after as he is Aruna Varna. Or just before he becomes a Surya, Aruna, just after Sushakala, there is Aruna Bimba. And Aruna is also crimson color Bimba of Surya Bhagavan, shedding light into the world and beginning the life and making all the activity in the world to begin. And that's why Aruna and Aruna, that Aruna Varna Aruna is important. And we are trying to understand the knowledge about Surya and number of Suryas, Aditya, the Kasyapa Maharshi, the father of all these Suryas, Dwala Adityas, and all that we have been able to note. And then we have come up to a stage when we could understand that there is no difference. And so God is telling the previous one before we start that 52nd, there is one important point that we have got to note, that Striyas Satihi Tavume Pugum Sahu Pasyadat Shanvan Na Vicheta Dandha Kavirya Putra Sayima Chiketa Yasta Vijanato Savituhu Pita Sato. So here we come to know that the Veda Adhyayana can be done even by anybody who have real inclination towards the Vedic learning or towards knowledge, because knowledge is never anybody's property, private property. Therefore, here it is said, the God speaks that Striyaha Satihi, beautiful lady, no? So Taha, those ladies who with the grace of Guru, they become aware of the Atma Gnana, and therefore they also get that kind of manhoodness or that kind of intelligence, and they will be really equalized. So the Brahma Vedas are taken as the Atma Gnanas, and Yasta Vijanat Savituhu, and they like to. So if the father is really learned, or if the Guru is learned, the Sishyas will be automatically well learned. That's what we know. And now we have to go to the next expression, where the Savitru Devata is impelling everybody to turn to the knowledge of the Vedas, and which means that he is going to be the father. See, there is such Vijanat Savituhu Pita Satu. So the idea is, here we got the Vedantic thought that a father is able to urge the children or his own people to get on to this. So Surya Bhagavan is a father, he is a protector, he is a promoter. That's what we have seen. Yasta Vijanat Savituhu. Savituhu Yaha Ta Vijanat. How like Pita Satu. So he would be the father. Know this nature to the manifestation of his own self. Ima Chiketa. That is, know that you are the manifestation of your own self. Because Atma, the body, as we note earlier, that there are 2 things in our, one is the instrument and another is the guiding light. The guiding light also is called Atma, the Paramatma, and the working instrumental light, instrumental thing is also the Sarira. So, and this Atma sitting in the body is Purya Bhagavan. So that's why the grace of God, the grace of that, and moreover that Atma which is inside Surya Bhagavan He is also called as Akshanvan. In the earlier we see Akshanvan Navichetadandha. See, Akshanvan means who possesses the vision and eyes. Aksha is the eye. Van or Vat will tell the possession of that. So eyes are the knowledge, eyes are the vision, eyes are important to that. Therefore, Akshanvan, and he will be and is able to distinguish the color and have the knowledge. And if you do not see the meaning and color and content communication in that, you will be like Andha. He is blind only to knowledge. So one has to turn to self-knowledge, and that is the Vedantic knowledge with which we are to be allowed. And now we repeat from here. So please repeat. Andho manimavindatu.
Andho manimavindatu. Andho manimavindatu.
Tamananguliravayatu.
Tamananguliravayatu. Tamananguliravayatu.
Agrivaha pratyamunchatu.
Agrivaha prachamunchatu. Agrivaha prachamunchatu.
Tamajihva asaschata.
Tamajihva asaschata. Tamajihva asaschata.
Urdhvamulamadasyakam.
Urdhvamulamavakhyakam. Urdhvamulamavakhyakam.
Vruksham yo veda samprati.
Vruksham yo veda samprati. Vruksham yo veda samprati.
Nasajatu janasraddhadyatu.
Nasajatu janasraddhadyatu. Nasajatu janasraddhadyatu.
Mrutyurma marayaditihi.
Mrutyurma marayaditihi. Mrutyurma marayaditihi.
So this particular hasitagum ruditam geetam.
Hasitagam ruditam geetam. Hasitagam ruditam geetam.
Ruditam geetam. So let's continue afterward. Let's know what is that. This particular paragraph tells you that andhaha manimam animavindatu tamananguliravayatu agrivaha pratyamunchatu tamajihva asaschata. So this tells you that if you are a spiritual master and you will be able to have controls, then your indriyas will not spoil you. You will be averse for attractions or the sensual organs given. Indriyarthas are being controlled. The eyes, tongue, etc. And here, money is the Paramatma. Even, in fact, Surya Bhagavan is called as the Jumani. Jumani means he is the money in the sky. And Ju is Akasham, Mani is the bride. So Mani Kanti is always constant. There is nothing like putting out of that. If Surya Bhagavan is not here, he is elsewhere, but his influence is there upon the world. Therefore, Surya is a constant deity shining forth in the sky, whether visible or otherwise visible. We have noted in earlier that there are 8 Suryas. One Surya is visible, while other Suryas are present, they are not visible, but they are doing their function of causing the atmospheric changes according as the season changes. So even the seasons influence the god. We have noted earlier that nana lingatva rutunam nana suryatvam ashtautu vyavasita iti. There you see Surya Bhagavan has different characteristics owing to the variant characteristics of the seasons. So here Manima Vindhatu Annapuru, he is able to attain money. 1 second. Hello, Annapurna. One, I just stopped. Avindatu means he obtains. So that's what otherwise called a spiritual master who has controls over himself. He will not allow the indriyas to go astray. In other words, he will, through the process of meditation, the sadhaka is able to attain the influence of the Supreme Self upon him. So Paramatma is to be understood through the indifference to the material attraction or sensual attractions. That will, in which case, we will have the Atma Gnana. When we have got that self-knowledge, self-elevation, that's what it is being told, Andho Manima Vindu Tamananguli Aravayatu Agrivas Tamajikva Saschata. Up till here, Tamajikva Saschata means neither the eyes nor tongue nor anything will get influenced by its own nature, but when you are a spiritual master. So, Anangulihi Manihi. So metaphorically, Paramatma is said to be Anguli is the finger, Ananguli is finger free, in which case that Paramatma has not got any kind of extension to that, but he is independently free from that. So this is a passage which is very important to note that, and there is a riddle about it. Actually, it is a very enigmatic statement. This particular passage is hard for right understanding because, Veda, to interpret Veda is a very hard job. Nobody knows what exactly the Veda meant, but still attempts have been done by the Panditas by virtue of the grace of God, by their own Utpatti, by their own Pratibha, and by their own knowledge. Therefore, this Atma Gnana Pradaha Surya Bhagavan. Ultimately, that Jumani, and see, Jumani is Surya Bhagavan. What is he doing? He doesn't have any antecedents. In Lalita Sahasranamam, we get the expression that the Devi has not got any kind of attachments or things. She is independently, perfectly pure. So upadhis are not there. Only upadhis are humans. But when we have got to understand the upadhi free Paramatma with the upadhis which have been provided. Therefore, this is a notable passage where this is a result. Result means prahelika, where we are all told that the Surya Bhagavan is Atma Gnana Prada. In fact, when you go to astrologers and when you ask for your own merit in your spiritual practices, then the astrologer will look at the position of the sun, Surya Bhagavan, where the Surya Ravi is projected. Accordingly, he will be able to tell you. Actually, when you talk about the real sannyasins who have taken to asceticism, if you turn to their horoscope, their Surya Bhagavan is posited very well, and they get a kind of Atma Gnana. Therefore, sun is very important. So, see, avayatu, pratyamunchatu, and avindatu. These are all the important words which are catch words to understand that he, Surya Bhagavan, is the provider of Atma Gnana in that. So what is that you have got to understand from the Atma Gnana? The next expression will tell you that urdhvamulamavak shakham vruksham yo veda samprati. So look at these two words. We have to understand that this world is a tree. This body is a tree. And tree, whenever you say the vruksha, is liable for growth, even though it has got some kind of problem or breaking, still the growth is not affected. That's why if you cut the tree, again it gets all the branches and leaves. So that's why in Lalita Sahasranamam, you have got a beautiful analogy regarding the tree. There it is said that Roga Parvadam Bholaye Nama Mrityu Daru Kutarika Yainamo Namaha. See, Mrityu Daru Kutarika. Lalita Parameswari is said to be Kutarika, the axe. What kind of axe it is? Daru is a tree. So Mrityu is like a tree. You are hurt, become all right, again hurt. You are born, you die, you are again born, like all like that. But when the trunk of the tree, when the roots of the tree are uprooted, then the tree cannot come up at all. So our spiritual practices, with the grace of the Surya Bhagavan, should be such that we have got to uproot the Janma, Marana, and such pravaha. Therefore, here, Urdhva Moolam, the roots are above, the branches are downwards. But for the tree, the roots are down the earth, the branches are up that. So what is true to tree life is true to human life, because our brain is the important situation where from all signals are coming down the body, to the hands, to the eyes, to the tongue, to the legs, to the fingers, etc. Therefore, the branches are downwards, the roots are upwards for a man. So, avak means downwards. Shakham are the branches. Urdhamulam avak shakham. Yaha Veda vruksham samprati. So you must understand that the world is like a tree which is never stopping. Even if you are hurt, even if the tree is hurt, it will grow up. If you axe it some distance, it will again come back. So the world is like that. So man now thinks that death shall not strike it and kill him. And then if you understand, you have got to get hold of that. And for this, this vruksha, what is vruksha? Samsara life, the material life. And this material life is always attractive. And we get succumbed to that. We get buried with that. It is hard for us to get away from the indriyarthas. Indriyaha indriyartheshu pravartante. So, Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, saying that all the indriyas are interested to fulfill their goals, not the goal of the individual who is a param, who is a atma. So here in this paragraph, vriksham nasajatu janaha sraddhadyat mrityuhu ma marayaditi. So the mrityu, the death, marayaditi, mam marayat, iti. Iti, when it is iti, it means it's a quotation or a fact or thought brought from the earlier Vedic texts, like Samhitas or Brahmanas. Everywhere it is all said mrityu smarana and mrityu activity is very well done. Therefore, a man thinks that death shall not strike at and kill him, and never even one such a person would get free about the death. So here the idea is portrayed as is portrayed in this. The samsaric attractions are very powerful because our indriyas are functioning because of the brain, and now we have to go conquer all that. So when you understand this, you would be able to conquer the fear by obeying the fear for a while philosophically, and that the death is only an experience which we don't want to get. And also you get about Saddhadyat, that is here the knowledge regarding Parabrahma gives you courage. A person who devotes himself to Jumani, he is having the spiritual knowledge and is not at the same time too afraid of death. So, nasraddhadyat annappudu, vadi chavu ante dani gurinchi bhayam undadu. Normally, all people are afraid of death, are afraid of old age, are afraid of the times that in that. Kabatti, what is the advice here in this particular passage? Those people who consider the samsara, consider the world is only a tree which cannot be uprooted easily. But even if you try to uproot it, hit it and cut it down, but it doesn't again completely eradicated, you will do it. And therefore, you please try to know that manim avindatu, avinda andho mani, and anangulihi manihi avindatu. And what kind of money it is, what kind of Surya Bhagavan? He is not. In fact, in Surya Suktam, which we have learned earlier, if not, I say, which I am teaching from 9 to 10, Chicago time, where just now we got that Surya Bhagavan is important because he is trying to observe without any emotion or reaction or sympathy, all people being born, living and dying. So there is, say, Pasyan Janmani Surya ani cheppinappudu, fourth or fifth mantranlo. So what is Surya Bhagavan? He is a Jivani, Anangulimani, and he doesn't have any kind of approaches, but he is simply a neutral God who does not react, who just remains. When once he begins as Aruna, Rupa, until he becomes a Surya, and also until he sets in the evening, he is constantly moving. And there also we are getting the idea that Sapta Harayaha Vahanti Rathe, O Surya Bhagavan, your speed is not hampered because there are 7 horses which are pulling your chariot to the end. Therefore, your speed is immense. And therefore, he said that you must grow a little philosophical, especially when you look at the world, which is really changing. World is changing, but you should work that you don't undergo the changes which the world goes on. And see, all these great Maharshis, saints will also preach the same thing. And there it is said, Ramana Maharshi is a standing example in this. He has become such a great Rishi that he is only called a Ramana Maharshi. All people are not Maharshi, compliment is given because he was not afraid of death. And when you visit the Ramana Ashramam, there was a big placard displayed where the death experience of Ramana Maharshi is also recorded and exhibited. Actually, those people who have the death experience will not return to tell you how would be the death at all. Chanipoyin tarvata feelings ala untundi evaru telusandi. Kani the rishis are so great because of their meditational success and power that they are able to have complete knowledge about the before birth, during birth, living during life, and during departure from life, and again returning or not returning life. Therefore, the object here is to conquer the fear, and that fear is mrityu. Mrityuhu ma marayat iti. So the mrityu will not marayat, will not trouble me, will not trouble. So this is exactly saying, giving a message that when we adopt to Suryopasana, is a Brahmopasana and Gayatri Upasana. That's why even Gayatri Japam people are introduced soon after the boy becomes 8 years old, because Nagayatriya Param Mantram Naga Namatu Paradaivatam. So Gayatri is a Mata, Veda Mata. What is issue? Prachodayanti Pavamani Dvijanam. So whatever that is sanctifying, all that sanctification gadgets or top is being allowed for those who sit upon the Gayatri Upasana, rather Savitri Upasana, rather Surya Upasana. Therefore, Najatujat Janasradhadyat, because whenever we adopt to spiritual life or these practices or upasanas, we are always interested to note about the advantages. నాకేమి బలం నుంచి గాయత్రి మంత్రం చేస్తే నాకేమవుతుంది అని అడిగేవాడు మహానుభావులు ఉన్నారు. చేసి చూడు ఏమవుతుందో చెప్పు. సో దెర్ ఈస్ ఆల్వేస్ enjoyment in tasting the pudding, not at looking the pudding. వడ ఇలాంటి వస్తువులను చూస్తుంటే కడుపు నిండదు, కానీ దాన్ని తిని అనుభవిస్తే ఆ కడుపు ఎలా నిండుతుందో తెలుస్తుంది. అట్లా ది టేస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది పుడింగ్ లైస్ ఇన్ ఈటింగ్, నాట్ ఇన్ వ్యూయింగ్ అని అంటారు ఇంగ్లీష్లో ప్రావర్బ్. సో ఇన్ దిస్ మృత్యుర్మ, అండ్ నౌ ఇన్ ది నెక్స్ట్ వన్ యు సీ, ఇన్ ది నెక్స్ట్ వీ హ్యావ్ నోటెడ్ ఆల్సో హసితగుం హృదితం గీతం. చెప్పండి. వీణా పణవలాసితం.
వీణాపణవలాసితం, వీణాపణవలాసితం.
మృతం జీవం చ యత్కించిత్.
మృతం జీవంత యత్కించతు, మృతం జీవంత యత్కించతు.
అంగాని స్నేవ విద్ధి తత్.
అంగాని స్నేవ విద్ధి తత్, అంగాని స్నేవ విద్ధి తత్.
అతృష్యగ్గుం స్పృశ్యధ్యాయతు.
అతృష్యగ్గుం స్పృశ్యధ్యాయతు, అతృష్యగ్గుం స్పృశ్యధ్యాయతు.
అస్మాజ్జాతా మే మిథోచరన్న.
అస్మాజ్జాతా మే మిథుచరన్న, అస్మాజ్జాతా మే మిథుచరన్న.
పుత్రో నివృత్యా వైదేహః.
పుత్రో నివృత్యా వైదేహః, పుత్రో నివృత్యా వైదేహః.
అచేతాయశ్చ చేతసః.
అచేతాయశ్చ చేతనః. అచేతాయశ్చ చేతనః.
కరెక్ట్. అచేతనః, కరెక్ట్. సతం మణిమవిందతు.
సతం మణిమవిందతు, సతం మణిమవిందతు.
సోనంగులిరావయతు.
సోనంగులిరావయతు, సోనంగులిరావయతు.
So up till here, it's again you observe that satam manima vindatu, sonanguliravayatu. That is being repeated here to make us remember that Paramatma, Surya Bhagavan, what does he do for us? He will try to help us not to succumb to the pleasures and pains of life in samsaram, but have some kind of philosophical outlook. And here in this passage, that hasidagum ruditam geetam. So what is this hasitam ruditam geetam? These are all the activities of the activities that we are getting from the instruments like Veena, Panava, Lasitam. So Veena and Panava, these are the two musical instruments, more earliest instruments. ఈ వీణను ఇంగ్లీష్లో వాళ్ళు ఏమంటారంటే లూట్ అంటారు. వీణావాదినః, పణవవాదినః. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ది టూ మోస్ట్ పాపులర్ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్స్ available or mentioned in the Vedic times. In the same manner, as far as the warfare is concerned, the Dhanuhu and Bana, Dhanur Banas, that is the most powerful, popular war implement employed by so many people. Afterwards, so many weapons and astras, shastras, etc. have come into vogue. But what are the earliest things? So when you talk about Veena and Panava, there is a sense of musical things, in a sense that you have got some kind of activity which is really enlightening us one way, or at the same time making us get into distress. So all this kind of feelings in us, joy or otherwise, is being obtained only because of the sounds of instruments. What are the instruments here? See, so what is hasitam means laughter, and ruditam is the distress, and geetam is the singing. So these are all the three factors: laughing, distress, and singing, and also the joy, all that we are getting from the percussion instruments. String, so lute is the string instrument. I think Panava is the percussion instrument. And so, so mrutam jivam cha yatkinchito. So mrutam jivam. Mrutam is dying. Jivam is to keep living. And so these sounds are connected to the body health. And how like they are connected? A question comes up. How are the sounds influencing us? Asma, jata, anga. So, yeah, here we have got adrushyagum dhyayatu asma jata me mithocharan. So, Mrutam Jivam. Next expression is that all the forms of activity emanated from the body. That's important message. That there is the linking of body with varied activity in a person, and trying to describe what are the worldly attractions thereafter. So as long as we are living, as we are all that, we are all connected to the feelings and actions connected to the body. That is, the sarira, vikaras are happening because of the relation with the body. And so here we have got the adhyatmic sense has been provided here. And here we have got also told that atrusyagum trusyadhyayatu angani sneva vidhitatu. Here sneva vidhitatu is indicating you please know that the body is connected to the various nerves. Angani sneva vidhi. And understand these sounds or outer connections in the world are just like the nerves in our body. Snayu or sneva tells you angani sneva. Here, all our parts of the body are being active only because of the signals from the various nerves coming from the brain. I wish tomorrow, please try to log in, because there is a neurologist is trying to talk on the brain stroke and nervous problems. So she's a neurologist, an expert doctor who has been in America since very long years. So she will be trying to tell us about the health of nerves. So here, and for all the narams, or for all the snayus in our body, Surya Bhagavan is the monitor. That's why tomorrow we requested somebody to recite the Surya Upanishad, because Surya is the one who takes control over our body functioning, over the samsaric attractions, at the same time staying beyond the samsaric things. Therefore, here Angani Sneva Vidhitatu.
Uncle, what time, Uncle?
8:30 Chicago time, 9:30 Eastern time. I think I sent to you. Otherwise, again I'll send you. Check your.
Sir, Pampichan, Uncle.
Yeah, Mala Pampistanu. You please share your doctor Sandeep also. Sandeep doctor.
Sure.
Friend, chala namaskaral pettadu gaani raaledu paapam. He is very sincere towards the Veda, and he's also doing a lot of Sarana Parayanam and all that. Anyway, share to your friends also, so that more people. So, a neurologist in Missouri, she is a Telugu girl in Visakhapatnam anukuntanu, but she has done a lot of work. Anyway, so the nerves are important in our life, in our body. The tension in the nerves make the parts of the body inside tight and remain in their own respective positions. Therefore, our Aruna is also, and another thing is, it is called Aranyaka text. Aruna Prashna is taken as Aranyaka text. We have most important 3 and more divisions of the Vedic literature. Samhita is only compilation stage. Everything put in the inbox. No discussion, nothing. It's all an inbox collection of all mantras. It's called Samhitas. And when we come to the Brahmanas, we try to separate the mantras and give them the rubrication or employment or all that. Even in that kind of process of the Brahmanas trying to give employment to the mantras, there are many mantras which are remaining not employed at all. All graduates are not employed. There are so many graduates employment free, or they don't get employment. Unemployment problem is always there. Not only for people, even for Veda mantras, unemployment. That's why they are called non-rubricated mantras. So there is a beautiful article written by one scholar in Pune long back, non-rubricated mantras of the Rigveda. I also tried to write one article on the non-rubricated mantras of the Yajurveda, because it is not necessary that all mantras be employed, but their employment may be there depending on the kind of rite. That's why we have a large number of ishtis than the number of sacrifices. I have started my discourse or explaining the Taitri Samhita every Thursday, and this will be morning 8:30 to us, to the people in Adhyayana group. So, and also it is going to be on YouTube too. So when once you study the Taittiriya Samhita, which contains also Brahmana, but we are trying to only pick up the mantra portion of that. Mantra Brahmana Yoho admixture is Yajurveda. And
ఆల్రెడీ అది స్టార్ట్ చేశారు అంకల్ చేస్తున్నారా చేశారా
only 2 or 3 sessions ayindi ante. I can send you the link. Or Nadavedamlo, I have sent you the Nadaveda link that you can yourself join in the group. Nadavedamloki vacheste Sheshachalaya is putting regularly the link, reminding all people to join the group. Manaki 8:30 avutundi, India 7 o'clock evening. So I just started the Darsapurna Masa mantras, and that's a different venue. And even this Taittiriya Aranyaka, the Aruna Prashna also has got the same thing, something like same chip from same workshop, chip from
ఇది
same.
ఆల్రెడీ రికార్డ్ చేశారు అంకల్ యూట్యూబ్ లో పెట్టారా
2 sessions are recorded. One of them has come already in the year. YouTube lo vachindi. I think number 1 and 2 has been put, but you can have continuation. I am just in the Darsapurna Masa mantras. And
సరే అది లింక్ ఉంటే పంపించండి అంకుల్ ఒకసారి చూస్తాను.
and next Thursday it is. It is a morning for you, 8:30 to 9:30 ఉంటుంది. And so how the mantras are being utilized, and therefore here because this Aranyaka, Aruna Prashna being a philosophical text, spirituality is also being a part of communication or message from the mantras. Arogo Bhraja Patara Patanga Swarnaro Jyotishi Manna Vibhasa and Chepnapudu, all the 8 names are there, and each name has got a good signification and meaning and communication and learning for us. Though we have noted that one Surya is visible, the other Suryas are there in the sky, doing their job of affecting all the seasonal changes. You observe here that so I don't know. So Sata and so Anga Nisneva Vidhitatu. So please understand them as the angas or the parts of the nerves here. And again, another thing, asma atrupyagum trusyadhyayatu asma jataha me mithu charan, and putro nirrutya vaideha achetaha yaha sachetanaha, yascha chetanaha, acheta and chetana. This is again a very enigmatic shabda that for everybody there is a Maya. Ahankara is born out of the Maya of Paramatma to all people in the world. And that Maya is the energy. So this is also another thing. A person who has no nature of being happy feels happy, but he is finding the identity in him that he has got The Maya, that is the Chetana, Achetanatva in them, or Shakti, Ashakti in him. And so Jataha, Mithu Charan. Mithu means together. So when you are having the Chetana and Achetana, then you are connected to negativity and positivity. Manalo manchi undi, chedu undi. Which we nurture depends upon our nature. But the people can become Chetana Swarupa, do more and more religious, spiritual practices and get on to the positive life. But there are people who give room for more and more niruti, negativity, asuratvam, abhankaram, they grow like that. So those people who are achetaha, see, achetaha janaha nirutyaha putraha, they are all the children of the Nairuti. Niruti is a Ratri Devata. Niruti is a negative god. That's why Nairuti is the Niruti. That's why they're all taken as the children of Niruti if you become Achetaha. And if you are taking the Chetanatva to be that, you will be that. But supposing you cross this Chetana, negativity and positivity and become neutral, then you will be called as a Vaideha. Vaideha means you are free from the duality, that Mithunatvam, like this and that and all that. So you will be growing to be independently supreme, and that kind of Advaita Bhavana will come into you. Who is Brahma? Brahma ekam sat vipraha bahudha vadanti, or eka id devaha. This Advaita Bhavana has been very well promulgated in our Vedas, and which Bhavana or thought has been picked up and highlighted by our Sankaracharya. Therefore, here in Taittiriya Aranyaka, you find Advaita Bhavana being that. But first of all, everybody is Dvaita. Everybody has got two things in him. Two theories always. You are in the house, you are in the market. But to ascertain where you are, whether you are in the house or market, one has to visit you. That is, there must some supervisory power to check you where you stand. That's why Putro Nirrutya Acheta Yaha Achetanaha. So Chetanaha Achetanaha. So this is the position. Now Ahankara is born out of the Maya of Paramatma in the individuals. And it is in the form of negativity, in the form of supreme positivity. And moreover, this kind of feelings is jada in the world, in all people. So people have got the feeling that I am continuing in my activity, I am growing happy, I am getting into sorrow, I am getting into that I feeling is there. All these feelings are associated in one's own body, that he has to try to discriminate and develop and be free from that kind of mirage spins. Mirage అంటే ఓఎస్ఎస్ లోపల ఎడారులు నడిచేటప్పుడు నీళ్లు దూరంగా ఉన్నట్టు కనిపిస్తుంది, కానీ అక్కడ దాకా వెళ్తే నీళ్లు ఉండదు. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఓన్లీ అన్ అబరేషన్. అట్లా ఈ మాయ ఆవరించి people are all sandwiched or containing these two type things. And who is that who removes the Maya in you? Is that particular money, that Jumani, who gets it, and he will be having no angas. Anangulihi, and Jam has not got any direction of the light. If you have a lamp, there will be shade, and lamp will be always giving you light downwards. And if you put a shade, upwards is all dark. షేడ్ పెట్టామంటే లైట్కి కింద మాత్రము వెలుగు వస్తుంది, పైన వెలుగు ఉండదు, డార్క్ అయిపోతుంది. కానీ మణికి అట్ట కాదు, మణికి షేడ్ అక్కర్లేదు, ఇట్ విల్ గివ్ ఆల్ రౌండ్ లైట్. సో సూర్య భగవాన్ ఈజ్ వన్ హూ ఈజ్ ఎ మణి, ఈజ్ ఎ జుమణి, and he has no angulis, he has not got any avayavas, he is always bright. And therefore, you observe that same thing. Achetaya cha chetanaha saha tam manim Surya Bhagavantam avindatu. Katham bhutam magnihi andre anangulihi saha avayatu. So agrivaha munchayatu. So it is called self-imposition and trying to get hold of the Sarira Dharma. So ultimately, what does this passages tell you? That the Veena, Panava, all are there to give you different kinds of sounds. A percussion instrument, the string instruments, all these things. But it is trying to teach you the knowledge about the Paratatvam and of the Paramatma, who is completely mystical, but you are able to unearth that mysticism in Paramatma through the matter of meditation, through the withdrawal of attachment to the material attractions, samsaric attractions, and that kind of power and tadatmita bhavana is being provided by the Surya Bhagavan. So when I am reading Aruna Prashna, Aruna Parayana, Aruna Namaskara, what is the goal? 32 సార్లు నమస్కారం చేస్తాము రథసప్తమి డే. And there are 32 passages. Whatever be the kind of division made by the editors. నేను ఒక రకంగా చేశాను, ఇక్కడ ఇంకొక రకంగా ఉంది, బట్ నేను 148 థింగ్ కింద డివైడ్ చేశాను నా పుస్తకం లోపల. అండ్ ఈ పుస్తకంలో 53rd, 53 ఈ సర్వవేద మంత్రాల లోపల. సో 148 దాకా చేశారు. 148 కానీ ఎంత కానీ, but it's all matter of convenience which the editor uses. But basically, the Taittiriya Aranyaka, Prathama Prashna, Aruna Prashna will contain only 32 passages, which text you will see genuine from the Gomatham publication, very old publication of Aruna Prashna, or Taittiriya Aranyaka, which book I have got in my house, held over by my father. And it's not available, I think, I don't know. So if at all you are able to find in the digital, the Google, the Gomatham publication of the Taittiriya Aranyaka text, you will see there are only 32 passages. And so 32 namaskaras you can offer to Surya Bhagavan, and he is pleased, because you cannot make 72 or 148 namaskaras. Oka passage full ga cheppi. In fact, we did like that Ashwath, he has got the practice of making Aruna Prashna Parayana with namaskaras. So we had got that conducted with his leadership in Ohio, Columbus, in my son's house. Anyway, so 32 passages like that. Here, so Nanguliravetu, so Griva Mutsima. So this kind of thing is being repeated to tell you that Surya Bhagavan is a Parabrahma, Paragnana provider, and Atma Gnana Raksha. Because Atma Yoga, Atma Gnana, Atmodharana, Atma Vimukti. So, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gnanavan Mam Prapajyate. Bahuni Janmani Gatani Tava Mamacha. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also told Arjuna, Aya Arjuna, Nenu Puttanu, Nuvu Puttavu. Kani Nenu Puttu Nadanta na Gnapaka Mundi Ela Puttunanu, what is the work that I am turning out? And ultimately I come to Purna Avataram of my Janma. And also he says that you don't remember what you were previously, you don't at all remember, you are always afresh. Eppudu parakadape. And innundante puttadam lopala gnanavantuduga puttarante, then you have got a kinship with Vedic knowledge, Paramatmic knowledge, spiritual knowledge. You are just definitely in the mood. So Gnanavan Mam Prapajyate. And as being a Gnani, you will definitely reach up to me. But so your object is to improve Janma by Janma the Gnana. So Shankaracharya told us, see, Karmana Jayate Jantuhu, Gnanena Vimuchyate. All Jantus are born. All people have got Janma, only owing to the kind of karma, the amount of karma, the magnitude of karma. And that karma could be reduced as and how you try to acquire knowledge. When you turn to Vedic knowledge and Surya Bhagavan's understanding, then Surya will help us to get rid of this kind of Maya. What is that Maya? Maya is a mithunatvam in us, means coupling. That is chetanatvam, achetanatvam. Good, bad. In Bhagavad Gita all through the time. So, and also Krishna told you that Janma Karma Cha Me Vidhi. He told in Bhagavad Gita, you are requested to come to Bhagavad Gita class also. Why? You must first understand the Janma and the karma attached to the Janma. People are born, they become doctors, they die as doctors. Some people are born, they die as, they become engineers, they die as engineers. Some people are born to be good carpenters, rathakaras, they die as carpenter par excellence. So we don't know. For example, the father of President of India, once that Sanjeev Reddy was a farmer. His mother is a farmer woman, but he rose to that kind of highest rank to be the first citizen of the country. So his punyam is different and parents' punyam is different. But still, they were so much lucky that to be able to give birth for that. So Janma and Karma, these are the two linked programs, which that's why Krishna is telling to Arjuna, you know me, my Janma, my purpose. And even Sankara also tells that, Kasansi, Koham, this is Kasan, he says that, Koham, Kuta Ayataha, who am I? Why have I come? All this kind of Atma Gnana is being provided by Paramatma, Surya Bhagavan, who is taken to be as a Jumani, and at that Jumani has got Ananguli. He doesn't have any partiality. Whoever sincerely devotes oneself to the Paramatma, he will be accordingly blessing. That's what even Annamacharya also tells that ఎవరు ఎంత మాత్రమో నేను కూడా వాళ్ళకి అంత మాత్రమే ఉంటాను కీర్తన చేశాడు. సో ఎవరెంత మాత్రమో నేను అంత మాత్రమే ఉంటాను. So it all depends upon the amount of sadhana which people take to, and that is being indicated when this particular thing, satam manima vindatu, andho manima vindatu, so nanguliravetu, so griva pratyamunchatu. So these three things are important to tell us that Aruna Adhyayana, Adhyapana, rather Surya Anugraha, Surya Kanti, he is simply gracious. And how is like Surya Bhagavan? Already in Saura Suktam we have noted, Shankar, Yamanukunav, Charmeva Magumsi antaru. Mamsanni mana charmam, mana dehanlo unna mamsanni, charmam ela యూనిఫారంగా కవర్ చేసిందో అట్లా పరమాత్ముడు అందరికీ సమానమైన కాంతిని ఇస్తూ వెళ్తుంటాడు సూర్య భగవానుడు. సో సూర్య భగవాన్ ఇస్ కంపేర్డ్ టు చర్మ, దట్ ఈస్ ఎ గ్రాండ్ కవరేజ్ వితౌట్ డెంట్స్ ఆర్ స్వెల్లింగ్. ఎక్కడ కూడా స్వెల్లింగ్ కానీ డెంట్ కానీ లేకుండా ఏ భాగాన్ని ఏ రీతిగా కవర్ చేయాలనో, ఏ సాఫ్ట్నెస్తో కవర్ చేయాలనో అలా కవర్ చేసి such a beautiful silpam or sariram is being given to that. Te sarira prapadyante yatha punyasya karmanah apane pada keshasah. Like that, you have already seen how responsible is Surya Bhagavan to provide the sarira to all the people. So I think this particular passage is a big riddle, very mystical, esoteric, but still our Bhattabhaskara and such great commentators have tried to unearth the communication possible through this passage. Samanyanga man teliyakunda chadukunte what is being told in this particular passage, it's hard for us to detect or understand. So thanks to the great commentators like Sayana or Bhattabhaskara, Skandaswamin, they are all great commentators, and for them we are indebted very much. So I think I stop here. Om Swasti.
Om Swasti. Om Sahana Bhavatu. Sahanau Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam Karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Sri Veda Purushasirvadostu. Om Tat Satu.
I think we are just trying. So about the thanks and your recording.
Sure.
And many people will benefit with this. Shankar, how are you?